I'm at the point now where I can't turn on my PlayStation because PlayStation has like a co-op agreement with Rockstar to where when you open it up, instead of it being a home menu, it is an advertisement for GTA 5 or 6 that like plays the trailer. And it's like,
just bombard you.
I met somebody at a party the other night and they were like, well, are you really not excited for it? It's like, not really. Like I want to be, but no, I spent so long playing GTA 5 over the course of, a decade more. And it's like, I bought that game on the Xbox 360 when I lived at my parents' house. So like a kid. And it's like any amount of, it's going to be the best game ever.
Right.
It's like, even if that's true, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It doesn't continue a story with any of the characters. And I get it. It's like it's more a multiplayer experience than it is anything else. But the other thing is it's not releasing with a disc thing. That's just, I'm not comfortable with that. And I know that's not a unique opinion. I know it's not a martyrish stance to have, but like, I think I don't want to boycott it or protest it or be that dramatic, but it's like, it will take me a long time to get to because I'm going to immediately focus on and prioritize other games, other titles, because it's the thing. I saw somebody, it was like a post on Blue Sky or the bad Nazi one. And it was like, GTA 6 to release without a disc. And it's like, in Captain America Civil War, when Iron Man's like, did you know? And it's like, Rockstar, did you know that they were going to not move away? Cause that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh yeah. It's, it's this weird thing where in the same breath that they're going, yeah, from now on, our systems are not going to have disk drives. We're not going to release physical games. Like we've already kind of been with the last couple Xbox and PlayStation models. You've had the option to do the all digital version. And it's like, well,
it's usually cheaper.
Yeah. It's got its benefits for the people who don't care to, collect those discs and things like that. But it's like, well, I also use my Xbox to play Blu-rays. Yeah. To play 4Ks, to play whatever.
Well, sure. It's also the argument of, it reminds me of the, credit card versus cash debacle. It's like, yeah, it's easier to use a debit card. It's easier to have your checking account and a card that's on your phone even. Yeah. That's easier. But when you have cash, much more than a card, you have that money in your hands.
Yes.
If the world blacks out tomorrow, that money is still money. Whether or not it's going to keep the cannibals from chewing on you is beyond me. But yeah, and it is so tone deaf. It is so beyond tone deaf to be like, oh yeah, 50% of the movies in the movie catalog for Sony are gone. Yeah. And people are like, well, where are our movies? And it's like, well, you didn't own them.
Yeah. The licensing is up. So we don't have them available to us anymore, us being Sony. So they're just gone from your libraries as well. And it's like, well, then what did I spend money on?
So I spent money for the privilege to watch that would be like having a debit card and being like, where the fuck's all my money? And they were like, oh, no, that wasn't any of your money. We traded your real money from your checking, from your paycheck with our fake Bank of America money. And so we were offering you the money as long as we had it, but we don't. We cashed it all out.
Yeah. I mean, more or less.
It's like, but then how am I supposed to watch The Men Who Stare at Goats?
How are you?
Well, you shouldn't.
But yeah, I don't know. That is horrifying to me.
Oh, well, the reason I brought up The Men Who Stare at Goats is because it's right there. I can see the disc.
No, I don't own that movie.
Then what is that yellow case? Is that not George Clooney's face? It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The point is that I was reminded of The Men Who Stare at Goats by a similar looking physical case. Because it's like you and Bug, who frequent guest of the Third Channel podcast, have the biggest physical media collections I've ever seen. Yeah. It's walls and shelves and yours are currently stored in 1, 2, 3 places. Your Blu-rays and DVDs are stored in 3 places.
They kind of are all over the place.
Yeah, your VHSs are, of course, in your pillowcase.
Yeah.
The worst night's sleep ever, but they're secure. Your worthless VHSs. Shout out Brainbuster Video. Have we become shills? It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that scares me. I don't want in the future to have spent money on Fallout 5 and then, Bethesda decides that they're not copacetic with Sony anymore. And it's like, well, you didn't own the game.
Yep.
And the thing I keep hearing, which is like, first of all, it's like the most badass, because none of this is super important, but there are like a few like American revolutionary like sort of parallels. It's like taxation without representation. It's ownership without owning. And something I keep reading these people say in response to this is, if buying isn't owning, because I'm not buying the media, I'm buying the license. Not. Right. So if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't theft. So yo ho ho, motherfuckers. Hello and welcome to the Third Channel Podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan
and a newbie to the genre. I'm PJ.
And I'm Derek.
And today, the only thing we're here to talk about is horror. The Next Generation.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Let me get way out in front of something. This is another film that you and I are discussing, having watched it on opposite days because of our work schedule. If this is one where, and I don't mean to start this so immediately aggressive, but if this is a movie that you're like, I actually kind of dug it, or like, it's better every time I see it, or like, I didn't remember a lot, but I was like, it was weird. And I will come across the table and beat you to death. That will be the last episode. Is we do the cold open, we have the intro, everything's running, and then Beans Morocco beats Ross Bacon to death. And then they just hear me sit and cry. And then eventually the police show up because people heard it.
Oh, that'll be great.
Is that going to happen?
It'll be like the original ending of Paranormal Activity, that after Steven Spielberg saw it, he was like, I like what you got going on here, but you should do the ending like this instead. And then they made the version that you saw.
So it's Steven Spielberg's Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
And Back to the Future. Here is how I want to start this one. I think it's fair to say that this movie is, to our audience, probably unheard of. Right. Most people don't know this movie exists. That's been my experience talking to people about this franchise and starting it, leading up to it, is that a lot of people don't know that this one exists.
Yeah.
And then you mention who's in it. And they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, both of them are in. This movie has probably the most star-studded cast of any film we've talked about. Because you've got like Nightmare, which has Johnny Depp, and you've got like Friday the 13th, the original has Kevin Bacon, and you have all these, like, Paul Rudd is in a Halloween movie, but this one has two award-winning actors in it.
Huge Oscar-winning,
massive names, and they are pro and antagonists opposite each other in this movie, and they're in the whole thing.
Yeah. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. It's a wild ride, this movie, and I wanted to get off about 10 seconds. Yeah, I want to get off.
Did you?
Am I talking about the sex way, or am I talking about like you open the door and I'm just like swinging from the living room? I've hanged myself from the strongest ceiling fan you've ever seen. First thing, let's talk about this. A little while ago, we released our second, folks. Actually, technically, our 2.5 monthly subscription-based episode on our Patreon, where we had a conversation about the film Beetlejuice with my brother.
It was
Alistair Graves.
It was a good combo.
Yeah, that's our I think we dropped that July 10th, which is the day before Alistair's birthday. So also, you guys are late. You need to message him.
Yeah.
Instagram at that A Graves MC. You need to message him and say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Nobody do it. It'll bother him so bad. He's gonna be like, where'd all the Third Channel fans go when it was my birthday? It's a weird crossover that no one expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our second, our episode in June.
Yeah. We talked with producer Ty, Fly Guy Ty, on Sinners.
Yeah.
The incredible, the best, our favorite movie of last year.
Yeah, the second best vampire movie of all time. The first,
right
obviously,
after
being John Carpenter's Vampires.
Oh, of course.
James Woods. Problematic, funny man, James Woods.
You've been on a real vampires kick lately.
No, don't say that. They'll believe you. Don't say that.
You've brought it up like 4 episodes in a row.
Because it's a joke.
Nah.
I love it. I love that, and I love Batman versus Superman. Those are my guilty pleasure movies.
Yep, that's true.
They're all going to believe it.
Yep, right from the beans' mouth.
Here, listen to this wink. Hopefully they heard that.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. But we also launched a free monthly review in the form of our, like, kind of our, doing air quotes, our episode 0 monthly review, where you and Fly Guy Ty had an old episode of a podcast of his that we have repurposed for our show.
Brackets and B-rolls.
Yep. That's on our Patreon. It's y'all discussing Jordan Peele's Nope. So with a subscription to our first paid tier, which is called the Bug-Filled Jack-O-Lanterns.
That's true.
With our first paid tier, you guys get access to our Discord, and you also get access to our subscription-based episodes every month. You'll start with the 3, and you'll just keep going from there. We do have a free tier. Derek hates it when I say this, but I'm going to say it again. Spooky Skeletons.
Oh, God.
Where you also get access to our Discord. So hit us up on Patreon. You can also listen to all of our main feed episodes on there. Leave us comments directly.
Interact with us over there and all that good stuff.
We're officially a podcast. You know, we do that. And now a sponsor from one of those hiring things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need a job?
Get one.
Too bad. It's AI now. But yeah, that's Patreon. What was so then immediately? Listen how professional I am. When was the first time you saw the Texas? Oh no, I can't be professional because I don't know what the fuck to call this movie.
Yeah.
Letterboxd, for the record, Letterboxd has it listed as The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
which is then very funny because if you were to look that same movie up on IMDb, it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Right. So which is it?
It's a little of both.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that is part of my notes because that was what I was kind of confused about. This has always been one that I remember seeing the box for, like the VHS box in movie rental places growing up and being very confused because I remember it being almost both sides of it. You know how typically you have like your big title and splash page image.
You've got Doc and Marty with the DeLorean, and then on the back it's a couple stills from the movie, a description of the cast. Yeah.
I feel like this VHS, and I'm probably remembering it wrong, but in my head, it's like one side of it is called The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a splash page, and then you flip it over, and then there's also like a big splash page, but it's like, that's, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, and the one side has the 2 leads, and then the other is like Leatherface, but kind of like, my recollection is like as a woman.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I remembered seeing. The first time I saw this film was at, I'm calling it a film, just fucking hurt my cavities. The first time I saw this was at my old apartment. I remember the menu, the DVD menu. And it was that picture, that famous picture of Leatherface, long black hair, he's in the black dress. It's like, is that Leatherface or is that just like Jennifer Saunders, like a tall woman? And it was like, and you said it's Jennifer Saunders. And I waited the whole fucking movie. Turns out you didn't put in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. You put in Shrek 2. She's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I don't remember exactly when I watched it. It would have been, I would have been in my late teens probably. Originally, I've watched this movie not very many times. This might have been the 3rd time I've ever watched it.
It's the 2nd time I've seen it.
And it's,
I remembered a lot of it. I remembered a lot more than I thought.
Yeah.
But I did not remember the ending.
Right. The weird part.
Do you know who did? Dylan watched this film with me today.
Fun.
And he remembered the ending, but not like he didn't sit down and start watching it and remember. Mm-hmm. The guy opens the door to the house and he goes, oh, I remember what happens now. Oh, man.
That's where the movie gets interesting.
No.
That's where the movie has, like, it does something different than the original movie.
What I will give this movie is that Kim Henkel tries with this movie to do interesting things.
Yes.
And to create things that are genre subversions that are baked into one of the most glaringly genre films I've ever seen before. Mm-hmm. The problem is that every decision made to get to those ambitious decisions are half-assed. It screams lazy. Mm-hmm. And there's only 2 performances that are even worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. And then all the little twists and turns are boring and flat. And then the one twist at the very end that is like the Shyamalan, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Is so bafflingly stupid and poorly explained that it is like, no, you're not. No. And it's like, yeah. And then the fucking James Bond airplane is screaming at the camera. And you're like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is Deborah Hill without John Carpenter?
Right.
Wildly successful and creative.
Yeah.
What is Kim Henkel without Toby Hooper? Apparently a psychopath.
He tried.
He did. And some of this I like. Mm-hmm. Most of it I despise.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is like, it's by no stretch the worst thing we've seen, but it is probably that's the thing. I want to say it's the least creative because for the most part it is.
Yeah, because he set out, I believe, absolutely do a remake of the original.
And then just rug pull at the end.
And yeah, and then and put, some new ideas in that maybe weren't explored in the original. I'll go into some of that in a bit, but
it's like when somebody sits down and they're like, I need to make a painting. Like, I have inspiration. I witnessed something today, a natural scene. I need to paint this before I forget it because I was inspired. And they sit down and they start painting. Little did they know their last name's Pickman. And a few hours later, it's come to life and it's eaten a school child. It's like, it's gotten away from you, Kim. Like, this is beyond the pale weird.
Yeah. To me, it's almost like it's the meme of here, you can copy my paper, but change a couple things so they don't know. Right. Except he copied his own paper.
But he has horribly progressive dementia, so he doesn't know it was his own paper. And this is what I mean. I have a hard time narrowing this movie down because it is both completely bland and also explosively bizarre.
Yeah.
It is horribly acted and also way overacted, which sometimes can be the same thing, but here I mean 2 very different things. It is also like, it is entertaining, but at the same time incredibly boring.
Oh yeah, it's long stretches of it where it's just like, we're doing nothing.
It feels like a movie that had a director, had a writer, and then it feels like the story would be, and then halfway through the project they got fired and 2 other people took over.
Right.
But I don't know that that's the case.
No, not from my understanding.
It takes a bunch of cooks to make The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
or
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, There's a Guy in a Limousine. If looks could kill, he wouldn't need a chainsaw. A group of teenagers get into a car crash in the Texas woods on prom night, and then wander into an old farmhouse that is the home to Leatherface and his insane family of cannibalistic psychopaths. End of summary. A couple things. They never call him Leatherface in this movie. Not once. They call him Leather. They shout to him as his name is Leather. In the captions and credits, he is Leatherface, but no one calls him that in the movie, which is odd. And then cannibalistic isn't explored in this.
Yeah, not really.
No. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the prom night of it all. My God, the setting, like the outside of the school and that weird little like courtyard area that we see the kids in out front of the parking lot reminds me so much of the movie Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
So immediately that was weird.
Which version did you watch?
The director's cut.
Okay, good. At least we watched the same version.
I figured you would have. And that's the other thing is all the and I watched 10 seconds of this with you last night because I had already gone to bed, but I woke up to grab something while you were watching it. And we sleep in the studio, but it is a professional studio, folks. We sleep in different corners.
Yeah.
In sleeping bags. Ty sleeps in the attic and he gets a single Pringle, but it is a professional studio. We don't play magic. We've been doing the show for a long time. If you guys don't get any of what we just said, you got to go all the way back. And I'm not a psychopath and I've never killed anybody.
Right.
I'm walking past it while you're watching it. We kind of had a discussion of like, because I'm like, oh my God, this footage looks terrible. And you're like, yeah, it has to be something that was added for the director's cut. Because it looks as though the movie is being shot. First of all, the movie looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's like this movie was made in the 90s. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was made in the 80s. And this looks older than that by a lot.
Yeah.
It's the ugliest, grainiest movie. But then every so often it goes from looking like a poor camera, like an old film style camera that's shooting this movie to like Days of Our Lives video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it gets bad.
Because it absolutely, from my understanding, so where you were watching it on this time on the Shout Factory collector's edition for this movie. So they have both versions, the theatrical cut and the director's cut, which isn't technically not the director's cut. I don't believe, because I think that version was butchered and parts of it are gone and couldn't be put back. So it's like technically not what the original was.
Sure.
But yeah, it's the footage that we get to see for the stuff that was replaced or put back in from the original cut is from a different scan, and they've like pushed in on it some, so it's blowing it up even more, and thus adding more grain. But yeah, it is that thing of like you watch those moments, and yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Like the movie doesn't look great, and I don't know if that was purposeful to try and make it kind of a throwback to how gritty the original looks, shot on 16 millimeter. But this is not shot on 16 millimeter, to what I know.
Well, and then also the big problem is that in the first movie, you have a really ingenuitive and creative cinematographer who's like making the best of all of these shots, shooting up from below at a lot of times to make things feel like claustrophobic and walled in. This is the most boring, flat, uninteresting, ugly, like soap opera set piece sort of like construction, just the most bare bones. So then it does end up looking like an episode of like Rod Serling's Night Gallery. It looks like
funny that you say that.
For TV. Oh God. I don't know.
Another big difference, just for the look of the film, is like the original is shot. I mean, at least half that movie takes place in the day, so you have daylight. Yeah. Whereas this is all at night, and you're shooting like
until the very end.
Yeah,
which again, crazy.
Yeah.
I really hope I'm going to get out in front of this. I really hope that the thing that you thought Rod Serling about isn't about Night Gallery specifically, but is about Rod Serling. What I hope it is that before his death, Rod Serling was asked, "What did you think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation?" And he said, "It was bad. You'll excuse me." And he went away and he smoked a bunch of cigarettes and died. I think he died on a treadmill.
I have no idea. Let us know.
Let us know. Charlie, how old were you when Rod Serling died, and did he die on a treadmill?
That's a good question. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, or The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
or 4,
was released at South by Southwest on March 12th of 1995, and then got its United States release in September of 1995. It's directed and written by Kim Henkel. It is produced by Kim Henkel and Robert Kuhn, I believe is how you would pronounce that, maybe.
C-U-N?
No, it's K-U-H-N.
Kuhn.
Kuhn?
Kuhn? Yeah. I don't know.
Either way, sounds not great.
No.
Cinematography is done by Levi Isaacs, who had also shot Sundown, The Vampire Retreat from '89. That was directed by Anthony Hickox, who did Hellraiser 3. He shot Spontaneous Combustion in '89, directed by Tobe Hooper. He did the sci-fi film Guyver from 1991. We've mentioned him before because he was the cinematographer on Leprechaun in 1992, as well as Children of the Corn 2 and The Dentist. And then immediately to the look of the film, he, at the time of this, he did 16 episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
So
I think probably by this point he had lost the movie brain and was in TV mode.
Yeah, possibly.
They are different. They have to work differently.
Yep. The editor, Sandra Adair, I'm going to list a lot of things, but there's a reason.
Do you think they were like, hey, Sandra, I dare you to make a terrible movie?
Possibly.
And she was like, sure, I was already going to.
So she was also the editor on Dazed and Confused, Suburbia, The Newton Boys, Waking Life, Tape, School of Rock, Bad News Bears, the 05 remake, Fast Food Nation, A Scanner Darkly, Me and Orson Welles, Bernie, Boyhood from 2014, Everybody Wants Some, Last Flag Flying, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, Hitman, Blue Moon from 2025, and the Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight trilogy. All of those movies are directed by Richard Linklater.
Okay.
So this person just works for Richard Linklater as an editor.
It got to a point where I was like, this is too many. You've said too many titles.
Yeah. I just found it fascinating. That's what this person then went on to do. The budget for this film was between $600,000 and $1 million.
I have no problem believing that.
Yeah, made for nothing. It also made about nothing. It made a box office of $185,000, $898. There's reasons for that. It didn't really get a real release.
No, and I'm sure where it did, people were like, oh my God, he's got universal remotes in his belt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best part.
If you haven't seen this movie, again, we say this a lot. What are you doing here?
Why didn't you charge my batteries?
Did you get lost on your way to a different episode?
A different podcast?
No, don't say that.
Oh, no. Just us.
Stay here with us, guys.
Yeah. Don't change the channel. Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, we say that in unison at the end.
We do.
Get there.
Director, writer, producer Kim Henkel. This is his only directing credit.
Yeah.
He was the writer on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974, as well as Eaten Alive, Tobe Hooper's 1976 alligator movie. The writer on The Unseen, the 1980 horror film directed by Danny Steinman, who also directed Friday the 13th 5, A New Beginning. And then he's the producer on Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2003, as well as its prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning, and was the writer-producer on Butcher Boys in 2012, executive producer on Texas Chainsaw 3D and Leatherface, and then producer on Found Footage 3D, and eventually Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. So Kim Henkel is somebody who kind of hung out, at least as a producer, of most of the stuff that came after this.
Sure.
Producer Robert Kuhn, did we land on?
I think so.
Was the producer for Trespasses, a 1986 thriller, and then executive producer on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning, Butcher Boys, Texas Chainsaw, and Leatherface. Music is done by Wayne Bell, who had also done the music for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974, Eaten Alive, Last Night at the Alamo, which was written by Kim Henkel, and Trespasses. Apparently, the original score for this film was composed by Wayne Bell, who was sound designer on the original, though much of his work went pretty much unused in this, and was replaced by rock songs by a lot of local, like Austin-based bands and musicians instead.
Yeah, there's a few periods where you'll hear a couple of the like original Texas Chainsaw sound effects, but like the kind of like it sounds almost like a bow, like a violin bow going across like a saw blade or something that's very industrial. You'll hear that every so often, but for the most part, yeah, it's just kind of crappy needle drops.
Yeah.
There is a point towards the end of this movie where some very weird shit happens.
Yes.
And let's just put it this way. Our lead is getting her face licked by a character that was introduced seconds prior. And they lay on the thickest heavy metal song ever. You can no longer, it's like, it is overwhelming how loud this becomes. And it's like, are they going to credits? Like, why is this so loud?
Is this the final shot of the movie?
But then it cuts off and it's just like, oh, they just didn't want to commit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God. The boom wasn't working that day. So they were like, I don't know, do fucking, what's that CD over there? It's like Anne Murray. And it's like, well, no, that's not cool.
We'll just fix it in post.
That'd make an interesting movie, a horror movie, but it's all like Al Jarreau and Anne Murray and Celine Dion and like 90s early aughts adult contemporary jazz.
Like they got one of those collection those anthology CDs that they would sell in the middle of the day. And that's the whole soundtrack. It's just that random assortment of adult contemporary.
But it is like the most brutal horror movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let's make it. And we'll call it Anne Murray'd to Death. The movie.
I'm sure we'll punch that up in post.
Oh, I liked it, but sure. Put me down.
Ty fix that.
God damn
it. Kim Henkel and producer Rob Kuhn had optioned the project through Chuck Grigson, who was a trustee for the copyright owners of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
More like Cuck Grigson.
And they established their own independent production companies called Ultra Muchos and River City Films in order to produce this. Henkel was initially reluctant to direct, commenting that despite being comfortable working with the cast, quote, all the action and all that stuff was something I didn't feel particularly good about. Bob Kuhn bullied me into doing it, and to tell you the truth, particularly the directing. So Henkel has said that he wrote the characters as exaggerated caricatures of the quintessential American youth. Henkel cited the murder cases of serial killers Ed Gein and Elmer Wayne Henley, who was apparently an American serial killer and accomplice to murders convicted in 1974. Those were influences on both his involvement with this film and the original. Henkel also deliberately wrote themes of female empowerment into the script, specifically in the lead Jenny character, whose narrative arc begins with her turbulent home life and then through her endurance of further abuse at the hands of the Leatherface and his family, emerges at the end as a self-realized individual. Henkel has said, quote, it's her story. It's about her transformation, her refusal to shut up or be silenced, to be victimized, and by extension, her refusal to be oppressed, even by culture. Bringing Jenny into a world in which the culture was grotesquely exaggerated was a way of bringing her to see her own world more clearly. That's what I mean by like he's trying to inject new ideas into basically the same basic structure of a story.
But it's also ham-fisted that it feels like it comes out of nowhere. It feels like the giant hand prank in Jackass. Like you're like, oh, we're in like a young girl's house. The like stepdad is here. Oh, he doesn't seem like a good. Oh God. Oh my God, what is happening? And it's like, well, see, she's being abused. And it's like, yeah, we see that. And I get it that it's a horror movie, but the problem is you start horribly.
Yeah.
And then you spend like 30, 40 minutes meandering and doing nothing. So then you forget again.
Yeah. And apparently in the original version of this, the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what it was original, or no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Next Generation, the version that got released. That scene is cut out. That whole opening bit is cut out. I guess we just started the prom. It's been a while since I watched that version.
That would probably have been better.
It would have been shorter.
Which would have been better.
Kim Henkel intended this to be the, quote, real sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974. What he means by that, I guess, is that the film, it does give, in the opening narration, like the opening crawl, it does give references, very slight, to parts 2 and 3. Because it's like, it mentions the events that happened in the original film and when they happened in 73. And then there are 2 other semi-related events that happened, is like almost how it's worded.
And they say that though the family is considered dead, there's never been any proof of that.
And so otherwise, this is basically a self-contained sequel. The characters of Vilmer and W.E. were originally intended to be the hitchhiker and the cook characters. Jim Seidel was actually approached to reprise his role as the cook, but was unable to.
Thank God.
Speaking of people possibly returning from the original, Gunnar Hansen was asked to return to his role, but he asked for too high of a salary on this low-budget film. Bill Johnson was then approached, who had played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Also turned it down. The role ultimately went to Robert Jacks, who was a local radio host and singer in the area.
He is probably one of the better parts of this movie.
Yeah, in a weird way.
I don't hate what he does with the character. It is different.
Oh, it's very different.
But I get it. Like, it's weird and very, like, existential, but I like what he does. I don't like his hair. I don't like how good his teeth are. That's a complaint. He's got, like, perfect teeth.
Yeah.
So am I right with 3? In our review of 3, I mentioned the fact that I think that there's just a bunch of different cells of different Sawyer offshoot families, and each of them have a Leatherface.
Yeah. There is always a chainsaw.
There is always a Leatherface.
Okay, we get to our other big casting.
Yeah.
So Renée Zellweger was then unknown. She's an Austin-based actress and a recent college graduate.
Because that's the same thing with the other guy.
Yeah. So she is cast as the lead role of Jenny. And according to Henkel, Zellweger was the first choice for the role. Quote, from the moment she read for the part, I didn't even consider anyone else. The other big role here, Matthew McConaughey.
Which, let's get out in front of this. It's fucking crazy
how fully baked he comes out. Like, McConaughey performance in this.
Yeah.
Pure insanity, but like McConaughey.
It is crazy that he comes out swinging and you see ripples of what he would then go on to do the rest of his career. It's also crazy that it's like failure to launch Interstellar fucking Matthew McConaughey is this character.
Yeah.
This early in his career in this movie and managed to escape it and go on and do other things. Because like for both of them, this movie this bad with this low a budget is like that's a career killer. And he is one of the most famous men in the world.
At this point, he absolutely is.
He is also the best part about this movie.
Absolutely.
By a lot.
Oh, hugely.
It's like he is way up at the top. Renée Zellweger is playing a really underwritten character. She is still very good.
Yeah. I don't particularly like her all that much as an actress.
I don't mind her.
But I think she's fine in this. I think she's a hell of a runner. The amount of running that she has to do in this movie and then that like panic, I think she does that really well.
The problem with this is that you're looking at her being a good runner from the perspective of a man in your mid 30s.
Oh.
She was probably in her early 20s, late teens.
Yeah, probably.
She could probably run for an hour.
But yeah, Matthew McConaughey had apparently just graduated college. He planned to move to California when he auditioned for this movie. He originally read for a small part that they eventually like eliminated from the script anyway. But before he left, Kim Henkel asked him if he knew anyone who might be the like right for the role of Vilmer. And so McConaughey apparently suggested like a couple of his friends from his acting class, and he left. And like after he got out of the car, he was like, "Wait, what am I thinking?" And so he goes back inside and he's like, "Hey, can I audition for Vilmer?" And Henkel gave him a spoon from the kitchen, and he told him to pretend it's a knife. And then he tasked him with scaring his secretary. And so in the middle of the audition, apparently, Henkel then told him to pretend that his mechanical leg was malfunctioning. And McConaughey was apparently so convincing that he won the role on the spot.
Yeah, the mechanical leg thing really pays off in this movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's a great character thing.
It's like, hey guys, you know, fans of the show that are listening right now that maybe haven't seen this movie, you know how there's that old famous tale about Barbra Streisand and that audition chewing gum, and then oh god, there was never any gum in her mouth. She was faking it the whole time, so they just gave her the part or whatever the fuck. This isn't one of those. He needed to know how to fake a mechanical leg because the character needs one for some reason.
Yes, not explained.
No, never explained.
Nor
the
should
why
be.
or the how.
If he was supposed to be, is he supposed to be the hitchhiker?
No, he's the cook.
He's the cook?
He's the one that's in charge.
Okay. The film was shot over a period of 6 weeks in late summer of 1993 on a location at an abandoned farmhouse in Pflugerville, Texas, on a budget of approximately $600,000. Production designer Deborah Pastor had acquired set dressings for the empty home by visiting local antique shops in the area and taxidermy shops, the latter of which donated leftover bones from some animal carcasses that could then be used to kind of decorate the house. Pastor also was able to acquire a prop chair that was crafted out of bones that apparently had been used in the original 1974 film. And it is the chair that was then used during the dinner sequence for the grandpa character to sit in.
I have never laughed harder in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
Is he the hero?
He is.
To do that classic third channel bit where you and I play a joke on our audience and we have a micro discussion about something that they don't know about. Grandpa Munster is the hero of this story, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He absolutely is.
He's amazing. And he has good car ideas.
He's the best at this. The majority of the film took place at night, like we said. The shoot was described by makeup artist J.M. Logan as very, very rough for everyone. According to cinematographer Levi Isaacs, despite most filming at night, the humidity and the heat made working conditions very uncomfortable, and the numerous cast and crew members were affected by poison ivy while filming outdoor sequences.
Oh, man. This shoot in Texas was bullshit, man. I got fucking poison ivy. I sweat through my clothes and I puked all the time. It's like, guys, stop making Texas Chainsaw movies in places without air conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, at least this one was shot back in Texas.
It was 90.
Not like 3.
It was 95. They could have gone on AOL and been like, "Dear Google, get me an air conditioner." And it would have taken 8 years, but it would have shown up.
Would have shown up. So the return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre had its world premiere on March 12th of 1995 at the Paramount Theater as part of South by Southwest. That cut of the movie ran 102 minutes. It then had a limited test market release in September of 95 in about 27 U.S. theaters, apparently even one here in Orlando, Florida.
Interesting.
The cut of that cut at the time was then 95 minutes in length, so they had already trimmed some of it. In October of 1995, Columbia TriStar Pictures acquired the home video distribution rights to the film at a cost of $1.3 million. And as part of that acquisition, the studio also agreed to give the film a wide theatrical release. In early 1997, after Columbia TriStar failed to meet the January release date, Charles Grigson, the trustee and rights holder for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then sued producers Robert Kuhn and Kim Henkel. In his lawsuit, Grigson alleged that they had failed to follow through with the promised wide theatrical release, thus preventing the original film rights holders from receiving the payout they had agreed upon.
Okay.
So Columbia TriStar proceeded to then change the film's title to Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Okay.
And re-edit it, cutting a total of 7 minutes from the previously released version. And then the original title card dating the events of the film from May 22nd of 94 was updated to May 22nd of 1996. So they adapted that a little bit. Following the second release, Grigson voluntarily dismissed his original lawsuit. But then, in late 1997, Grigson, now joined by Ultra Muchos and River City Films. So basically, the guy who sued Kuhn and Henkel,
right,
was like, okay, we're cool.
Yeah.
That lawsuit's gone. Do you guys want to team up for a different lawsuit?
Right.
And then they filed an action in state court against Matthew McConaughey, as well as his management company, which was Creative Artist Agency, CAA. In that lawsuit, the plaintiffs alleged that McConaughey and CAA had interfered with Columbia TriStar's distribution agreement by pressuring the studio to limit its release to await the premiere of McConaughey's next film, A Time to Kill, and Renée Zellweger's Jerry Maguire, that came out like the following year. Both Renée and McConaughey were under the same like talent agent, I believe. Both actors have since said that they had nothing to do with any of that. They've never wanted to conceal their like work in this movie.
They're not Jennifer Aniston. They're not ashamed to be in Leprechaun. They're very excited to have been in Leprechaun 4: The Next Generation.
Right.
The Lubden Chainsaw Massacre. That's scary as hell. He rides one. It's like that, like the clip show where he's like in a wheelchair rolling around and he's on roller skates, and then it's just him like a witch's broom, but it's a chainsaw.
It was very painful.
And he's wearing Jennifer Aniston's face.
Yeah. You gotta watch get into cars with strangers these days. I heard about an old man once picked up a little girl on the side of the road. Chopped both her arms off, stuffed her in a culvert, left her for dead. God, I fucking hate that. I mean, that sorry son of a bitch didn't have shit for an imagination. How fucking simple can you get?
Stop, you're scaring me.
Scaring you? You're not scared. You don't know shit about being scared, little girl. Not yet. You want scared? You want scared? Have a look behind you. Have a look. Yeah, how about that, huh? Look again, goddammit. Go ahead, look again.
I think I want you to stop and let me out.
You think? Or do you know? Huh? Go ahead and have a look. Get your better look.
No.
No, you don't want to look.
No.
What's your goddamn problem?
Okay. If you stop, I'll look.
You want it?
If you want to look, get a better look. You don't know shit about being scared, little girl. Go ahead and look. Matthew, your line was, "Oh, you're scared. I'm sorry. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry. I got really into it."
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you need to calm down because we also fired you yesterday, so you're not supposed to be on set anymore.
Yeah, but this is my truck.
Yeah, that's what he did for a living out of college, and your movie's got a, what is it, $6 budget?
Yeah,
So it's
something like that.
Yeah, they definitely can't afford to rent a tow truck for the day. We start this movie with a scene that I'm going to blow through because it's only the director's cut, apparently, and I hated it.
Yeah, the director's cut gets the original, The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre title treatment.
Yeah. Oh, and you got like the narration, but it's
Yeah.
the same. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not a franchise you would expect to also have like a Star Wars title card thing, but they do.
They do.
This one's weird. I don't know. It's just not narrated the same way.
No, like almost all of the sequels so far, it's like it goes on for too long.
Yeah.
And like this one especially, like we mentioned, it's like they say this thing about how there were several then over the next several years, at least two minor yet apparently related incidents were reported. But then again, and it's like it keeps like giving the like, okay, and then 5 years later this happens. Oh, and then a couple more years after that this happens, and then this, and it's like, what do we care about any of this?
Yeah. What do we care? And then the other thing that I noticed about this narration is like the first few films in this franchise, it sounds like Dateline or like true crime. Like it's like in the year 1973 in October or whatever. And it's that deep kind of narrative voice. And this one is just like Country Bear Jamboree. It's like, it's the year 1995 and there's chainsaws everywhere. Sheriff Lefty's got 3 of these some bitches. That's bizarre.
Oh, right. We're drinking root beer now. I guess that's progress for you.
He blew the neighborhood because he went from door to door and sucked everyone's penis.
Yeah,
the dad from the Carousel of Progress sucked everyone's penis on the 4th of July.
That is correct.
And instead of fireworks, it was a bunch of guys going, "Oh, fuck.
Baby, you're a firework."
Ah.
Yeah, so this takes place like 23 years after the original killing spree in 1973.
Yeah, so it's assumed that none of these people are related to the Sawyer family. They're also not called Sawyers. That's not a name.
Yeah,
that's
I don't think it's given. I think they may still like in the script or whatever refer to them that way, but
because it's like, is you know, I've mentioned this before in this review and in previous reviews. Is it a McPoyle thing? Are the Sawyers just this insanely inbred family that has gotten pockets all over Texas?
I think so.
There's always a cook. There's always a Leatherface. It's
There's always a hitchhiker.
Yeah, but
There's always a grandpa.
There's always a grandpa. And sometimes they do the funniest shit in the world with him, including in this one, where it is the funniest version of the grandpa character.
Yes. But this opening scene that you hate.
Yeah, basically it is Renée Zellweger is getting ready for prom. It opens with her putting on lipstick, which is then mirrored, by the way, later in the movie with Leatherface, which I actually kind of like. And then I don't like the fact that creepy stepdad comes up and is like, "Hey, why don't you?" I don't want to do the get over here fucking into this.
No.
He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna sexually assault you," and she's like, "But you're married to my mom," and he's like, "And if you say anything, I'll divorce her."
Yeah.
And then that's just so much more sad because it's like she's like, "Well, my mom can't find anybody else," so it's like, "No, I guess I'll just let you do whatever to keep my mom happy," which is horrible.
Yeah.
None of it was necessary. It doesn't help her character growth at all.
No, I think his reasoning behind it is so that whenever her reactions to things, if like she's already gone through so much hardship in life that it allows her to then go, I know how to control this situation going forward.
Sure, but that's not.
I don't know if it works
done.
or not.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it does at all.
No.
It's not done well.
Mm-hmm.
It is shoehorned and then shoehorned again a little later, and then at the very end of the movie, it's shoehorned one last time. But it's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Really, where we open the film is prom.
Right.
Now, I want to set the precedent here.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is strikingly similar to 3.
Right.
It is incredibly similar to 3. It's not beat for beat, where 3 kind of is closer to the original in like the car and the gas station and the hitchhiker and the like the little pieces that build up. This is similar to 3 in that it's like young people in a car, because there's 4 people in the car, 4 like youths in the car in this one, but only one of them has a character. So you killing the other 3 does not matter at all.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of 3 in the fact that it's like one of the Sawyers is a young, handsome guy who is like, you know, annoyed. There is a tow truck at one point. Matthew McConaughey's character has the knee brace, where the guy from the last movie has like the prosthetic arm. They both talk about technology and like fuck around with electronics. There's like a weird focus on electronics. It's just, there's a lot of similarities. But where 3, the kids in the car, because I mean, to catch up, they go to prom, 2 of them get into a fight, get in their car and drive it away. And then 2 of their friends were in the back, kind of like, I guess, finger blast on each other.
Yeah, we have to assume they were finger blasted.
In the back of their mom's car.
Right.
Right.
What else do you do in the back of your mom's car?
Well, for me, it was sit.
Yeah.
And be driven.
You could do whippets in your mom's van.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
No, nobody don't do whippets at all.
Okay.
But so I like that premise of guys making out with this other girl. His girlfriend catches them. They get in their car. They're arguing, and then pop up goes these friends in the backseat. They're like, "Oh, sorry, we were like trying to fuck each other." And one of those in the backseat is Renée Zellweger.
Right.
And they drive, and it's like, all of this is supposed to be some semblance of characterization, but it's like we never even go into the school.
No.
Because they didn't have a license to film there.
Right. And it is like, he was just trying to do this very exaggerated, like cartoon version of teenage kids.
Also, their prom outfits, like the costumes that they're wearing, look like the 1960s.
Well, maybe it was a throwback prom.
But so I thought, oh, is this supposed to be like at the same time? Like narratively, is this supposed to be happening about the same time? But then no, the technology in the movie alone, no. But then everyone's cars look like they're from the 70s. So I don't know. I'm super confused by the whole movie.
Yeah, you should be.
Okay, I am.
Jenny is played by Renée Zellweger. She was in
Jenny.
Dazed and Confused in 1993. She's in Empire Records from 95. Jerry Maguire's, where she gets her really big break, in 96. She was in Me, Myself, and Irene in 2000. Chicago in 2002. She's in the 2009 horror film Case 39. And then she's the lead of the Bridget Jones franchise.
Yes.
I believe there's been 4 of those at this point in time.
I like her a lot. Just generally, the things that I've seen her in, I really do. Dazed and Confused, and I think I've seen just the one of the Bridget Jones movies. I think I've seen, and then I like when she is in something, even as odd of faces she pulls from time to time. I still think she gives it her all in everything, and this is no exception. Weirdly, this is no exception. She does very well in this.
Yeah. Sean is her boyfriend. I believe he's played by John Harrison. He has an uncredited role in The New Guy.
You literally blink and you miss any of the next few characters.
Yep. He was in 8 episodes of Guiding Light, the soap opera, and he did 2 measly episodes of All My Children.
Boo.
Heather is the Dit's friend. She is played by Lisa Marie Newmeyer. She was in Rolling Kansas, a 2003 comedy. She is in Sin City, apparently.
Okay.
And she is in A Scanner Darkly in 2006. And then her boyfriend, who is the biggest piece of shit, is played by Barry, is played by Tyler Shea Cohn, who was in something called A Troll's Bridge, an O2 fantasy film, Normal Terror, a horror film from 2021, and Butcher's Bluff, a slasher from 2023.
Yeah.
Basically, no one.
Here are their characters. Renee Zellweger's boyfriend is like naive, lovey stoner guy. Heather, who is the other girl, is stupid whore in horror movie. And then third guy is big dumb jock who is cheating on horror character with bigger horror character.
So, okay, so we've got our cabin in the woods group.
This gives off such cabin in the woods vibes, especially by the end. It is
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
It is
I have the same feeling.
Yeah, it's Cabin in the Woods way before Cabin in the Woods, but also not near as good as Cabin.
No.
But they drive around and then they wreck.
Yes. Because they immediately get into like a fender bender and then speed off.
Right.
And then they're on like a country road.
But then it's not even like a country road. It's like they pull off into a national park.
Yeah.
It is the thickest woods you've ever seen.
And then there's just another car that comes barreling out of the darkness into them.
Yeah, it's Grandpa Munster's jalopy.
And they get out and the guy is like, I can't remember what he says. He says like one word and then passes out.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
And then
my head.
Jenny,
my aching bananas.
If only it said
that would have been great.
It would have been a great callback.
Yeah.
Except the events of that film can't happen for this movie.
Maybe it's a Texas thing.
Okay. It's just
my aching.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody's from Texas, let me know.
We got to have some listeners out there, right?
Yeah, they probably love Buc-ee's. Mm-hmm. Buc-ee's started in Texas. Why they're so high? That's their gut. Oh my God, what the fuck just happened to me? Hold on. If they're from Texas, they probably love Buc-ee's.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask this to the folks from Texas that listen to our show. We got a lot of Lone Star fans. Let me ask this. Is that why they're so big? Because everything's bigger from where you guys are?
The what's big?
Buc-ee's.
Oh.
It's huge.
Oh, yeah. It's like a gas station, but it's big.
It's big. And Bucky is big. I met him.
He's a big beaver.
I took a picture with him.
Mm-hmm. I'm jealous.
He touched me.
Oh, I'm not as jealous.
No, like high-fived.
Oh, good. I'm jealous again.
And he squeezed my butt.
Oh, undecided.
I asked him.
Okay. That's consent?
He said no.
Oh,
and then did it anyway to trick me.
I don't know how to react to this anymore.
And then he bit me in the neck and I became a Bucky boy. Ask Tim. That's how it works. Tim, leave us a comment. Let us know when Bucky bit you in the neck.
I'm sure he will. Jenny, Heather, and Barry, they leave Sean. They leave him to look after the unconscious driver as they then go to search for help in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And then they happen upon this office trailer with a insurance agent named Darla.
The world's most obnoxious archetype for a character.
Yes. Darla is played by Tony Perensky, who was in Shadow Force in 92, The Underneath, a thriller from 95. She's in Varsity Blues, the teen drama from 99. And then in Eminem's music video for My Name Is, she plays Slim Shady's mom.
Weird.
Yep.
She in this scene is great because this is the kind of character that she is supposed to play. A silver-tongued, sarcastic, professional, morally positive person.
Right.
When the twist happens that she's actually one of the bad guys, she doesn't play it well.
No.
She is not a good villain.
She's still just kind of herself.
Right.
And it's well, no, there's no turn then. And it's well, then if you're not like them, why are you dating one of them and hanging out with them?
And then you find out why. It's fucking insane. Again, I can't get over how crazy the end of this movie is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the jump, it's Darla's performance is so insane in the way that she talks to these kids who have just wandered in off the street. Well, not even the street, the woods. Which, by the way, her insurance trailer, let's call it what it is. Right.
Her brokerage is in a trailer in a clearing in the middle of the woods. If I got my State Farm auto insurance from a lady that worked in a mobile, like a what are they, portables? Like the portable classrooms in the woods. I would hope it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
It must be.
Yeah. She sells dirt cheap cabin trailer insurance.
Yeah. But it's the odd turn of phrases that she uses. It's the strange jokes that she does.
Yeah.
It's like, she's like her making, apparently like Jenny is looking at her chest. And so she's like, yeah, they're not real. I spent all this money on them, but they're the greatest things ever. Like business is booming because of it.
Well, yeah, she says so many like double entendre and sexually, and it's like we have established that they are children.
Right.
Renée Zellweger's character is a victim of sexual abuse, and you're just like, fucking's great, isn't it? Don't you guys just love fucking big old penises and vaginas? And it's like, big vaginas? And she's like, bigger than you could think, bigger than you need, smaller than I want. It's like, what the hell is happening?
What does that mean?
I love three things. I love my huge fake tits, my trailer where I sell insurance, and the biggest vaginas you've ever seen. Darla. Brokerage to the stars.
Darla is like, no questions asked, really.
No.
They come in and they're like, oh my God, we were in an accident. You got to call for help. And she's like, okay, I'll call my boyfriend. He has a tow truck.
Yeah.
And he'll go out and he'll find you. And so she does. And then they leave the office and they begin kind of heading back towards the wreck. But like a different truck drives by and Heather and Barry like chase after it to try and get a ride, and they just leave Jenny in the middle of like the road at this crossroads.
Because you blink for a second, you look away for a second, and you look back up and you're like, oh, she's alone. Why is everyone alone now?
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where this whole section of the movie is like, they don't know what they're doing.
So we meet
Vilmer shows up, who is Matthew McConaughey.
Why Vilmer?
I don't know.
Why not Wilmer?
Big
Wilbur is a real name and a country name. Call him Wilbur.
Nah.
Guys, if you're aspiring screenplay writers, you can name them whatever you want.
Can?
Yeah. If you wanted to write a script tomorrow and you wanted the name, I don't know, small, fat, racially insensitive slave owner alien, you could name him Watto with no problem.
You could.
You shouldn't, because you shouldn't write characters that own slaves, just generally.
Watto,
unless
though.
the point is that they get punished for having owned slave. Instead of just being fine.
Yeah.
Chance cubes. Anyway.
Vilmer is played by Matthew McConaughey. He was also in Dazed and Confused. He's in My Boyfriend's Back from 1993. He was in the sci-fi film Contact from 97. He is in Frailty, a thriller from 2001, which stars and is directed by Bill Paxton. He was in Tropic Thunder in 2008. He's my favorite part of that movie, probably. That whole TiVo bit is hilarious to me. He was in The Wolf of Wall Street. He's in Interstellar in 2014, which
your favorite movie.
I think my favorite movie of all time. And then, most famously, he was in The Dark Tower.
I've been waiting this whole time to make that joke.
Great minds.
He's in the greatest film of all time. Stephen King's The Dark Tower, starring opposite Idris Elba.
Yeah, I'm sure. See, though, that's a movie where they probably tried to hide that they were in it.
Stephen King was like, "Is my name on that?" And they're like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, God." Thank God. If people at the holidays this year ask me like, hey, did they make a movie out of that book you wrote? I'm going to be like, no, crazy coincidence. I'm tied up in litigation about it. Yeah, he is very, very weird as a performer because it is my opinion of him for things like Dallas Buyers Club, things like Failure to Launch, all of this body of work that he's done from the rom-coms to the serious stuff. He is either incredible or he is a huge neon flashing sign in the movie that's like, I'm acting, and it's like, and it's not about when he's young versus old, it's just certain parts I think he got cast because of his name. Dark Tower is a great example because he is terrible in that movie.
Chewing the scenery.
Idris Elba's great in it.
Yeah.
He's terrible in it. And it's because he's not supposed to play a super powerful, ancient, psychic, interspatial, like, monster being.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen King just is the weirdest guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting hit by a van and nearly dying from it, that will change you.
Did he do whippets in the van that he almost got killed by?
No, but that's probably what was happening, which is why they didn't see him and they struck him.
Did he write a kid orgy?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get to it, folks. All that in a bag of chips.
Yeah.
I like the scene a lot when we meet Vilmer for the first time. He's the tow truck driver, and Sean, Renee Zellweger's boyfriend, is knelt down with this. I think it's the driver of the other truck, and he's like, "Is he going to be okay?" And Matthew McConaughey is like, "No, he's dead." And he's like, "No, he's not dead." And he's like, "Yes, he is dead." And he's like, "No, he's not." And he's like, "Yeah, he's dead." But it's just this cold and like this callous. And he seems annoyed by the fact that Sean is like arguing with him. And then he's like, "No, he is dead. See?" And he snaps the dude's neck like almost all the way around and like kind of looks out of the corner of his eye at Sean, like kind of smirks a little bit and then chases him down. It's one of 2 times in this movie where he chases somebody down in his. Did you ever see the movie, the Jonathan Lipnicki movie, Little Vampire?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Vampire Hunter and Little Vampire has that big sort of like smash bang truck that he drives around and makes a bunch of noises and it has all the lights?
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of. It's like a tow truck, but with 1,000 more lights than it needs.
Right.
And he then chases Sean down. And like the scene ends with him like kind of clipped by the tow truck. And Matthew McConaughey's like, "Ha ha ha," and then runs him over
repeatedly, just over and over and over again. Yeah, I love this intro to this character because it's like it's unsettling, and we don't have anything to go off of. We do because we've seen him in other things, but like at the time, you got to think about like the only thing that he may have been seen from is like Dazed and Confused at this point.
Right. Because I mean, when you look at Silence of the Lambs, it's like Anthony Hopkins is gonna be your bad guy here.
Right.
It's not that he was typecast as a bad guy, but it's like all the poster work, you can just tell. But like, why would you guess that this no-name kid is as important in the movie as he is?
Yeah.
And he is. Very Viggo. And that's another similarity is Viggo Mortensen to McConaughey.
Yeah.
They both go on to have award-winning careers, make huge names for themselves. It's just bizarre that these guys, not their start, but their
very
beginnings,
early on. Yeah.
They're in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Yep. After Heather and Barry kind of split off from Jenny, like she just ends up standing in this crossroads. Like she kneels down in this crossroads for a while, and it really just seems like they didn't know what to do with her. Yeah. And so they just had to give the others time to go off and get murdered. And so they're like, I don't know, just stand there.
It is like they needed B-roll for like an Iron Maiden music video. And they're just like, well, we've got this girl. We can just film her in this foggy ass trail.
Yeah, she's in a tattered like prom dress. I don't know. It looks kind of neat. It looks
metal as hell, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but she does. Basically, it cuts from Vilmer murdering Sean with a tow truck to Renee Zellweger standing in the middle of the woods to Barry and Heather discovering the Sawyer farmhouse.
Yeah.
To her standing in the middle of the woods. To like everything in between is she's standing there.
And some of it may be the same footage.
Oh, it probably is. It's just reversed.
Yeah, they flip it.
No, not flip it. It's played in reverse. It's her walking backwards. And she says, "I can walk backwards as fast as you can."
I remember that part now.
Yeah, and do you remember later in this movie when Matthew McConaughey is like, "They're remotes, Betty." They're remotes. We're talking about Freddy Got Fingered, folks, because we don't want to talk about this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, Heather and Barry, they discover the old farmhouse.
And 2 hilarious things happen. The first hilarious thing is Barry's a dick for no reason.
Always.
And the dialogue is awful.
Yeah.
It's written terribly, it's delivered terribly, and it made me laugh really fucking hard. where she's like, well, go check. And he goes, okay, great. I'll go check. And it's like, why is he upset about this? Also, don't forget, he cheated on her 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
And he's like, well, fuck you. And then the other very funny thing is that how on earth do you mistake a man that size's gloved hand for a bug in your hair that many times without turning around?
Yeah.
She's dumber than hell.
She really is. I love the way that Leatherface, like she sits down on this porch swing. I love the way that he just like creeps into the shot behind her. Like we don't see his face. He just slowly kind of sidesteps.
He like shimmies.
In. Yeah.
He does that, which I think is very funny. And then when she finally turns around and sees him wearing a human mask, like a human skin mask, she screams, but so does he.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. Leatherface makes me really sad in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like he seems so scared and like beat down. And in the first movie he did too.
Right.
But they clearly loved him in that first movie.
Yeah.
And like he's part of their family. And he seems like the character of Leatherface in this movie just seems like this horribly abused, mentally ill, because like also very feminine, like very effeminate. Everything he does, the screaming, the way he puts his hands over his face, it all screams like sort of, it reminds me of, oh God, I cannot believe I've forgotten this actress's name. And the only role that I get, this incredibly famous woman, I can see her face. The only role that I can remember that she plays is Lucille 2. Lucille Ostero from...
Liza Minnelli?
Jeez, I'm leaving this in. I'm leaving this horrible mistake in. Yes, Liza Minnelli. It reminds me very much of that. Like over-exaggerated, very like... You know, the outfits, the hairstyles that the masks all have.
Yeah. It's almost like classic old school Hollywood.
Yeah. Now the masks all look terrible.
Right.
They look like they were made out of paper.
Yeah.
They're horrible. It's the worst Leatherface has ever looked.
Yes. Because I think, and I don't know if we stressed it in, our chats about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or 3, but it's like, I like they clearly look like the original mask looks like dried skin.
Yeah.
Like, whereas the ones in like 2 are done by Tom Savini and his group. And so they look amazing.
But they look like a movie prop.
Right. And then 3 is like kind of a mix there. Yeah. And it works for the most part for me.
The problem with 3 is that when you get away from the expertise of Savini and you start to have that cross between, the cross between almost looks worse.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, it just looks like liquid latex. Like it no longer looks like a really good movie prop like Savini's mask. Yeah. It now looks like a shitty movie prop. Yeah. This looks like a paper mache, like children's school project. Looks terrible. And like, again, I don't mean to disparage the actor for being like a regular looking person, but the guy who played Leatherface has like a perfectly fine set of teeth. His skin seems fine. He's got like ringleted curly hair that like cascades down under the mouth. And it's like, he just looked like a pretty dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you? Because Bubba Sawyer is like malformed. Like one of his eyes is barely open and he's got these overlapping teeth, but he's missing most of them. And he's just like he walks around with his fly down the whole movie because he's like, he is not developed.
Right.
And this, he just seems, I don't know. It's
odd. It's odd. It's different in this one for whatever reason. But yeah, Leatherface is played by Robert Jacks. He was in Slacker, I think that's also a Linklater movie. The comedy from 1990. He does end credited work in that. Apparently there is a B slasher movie from 1991 called Scary Movie.
Weird.
Which means that existed before Scream was almost called Scary Movie, before Scary Movie was called Scary Movie. And then he's also in A Trolls Bridge from 2002, that fantasy film.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we very quickly kind of run through with Heather and Leatherface. He doesn't do it in the same order that he did it in the original.
No.
But he hits all the same beats.
But they are funnier in this one.
Oh, yeah.
By quite a bit. the way he grabs Heather and slams her into the refrigerator without thinking about locking it in any way, and Leatherface turns and walks away, the fridge busts back open because she's trying to get back out within a second.
Right.
And then it's like he's surprised by that and mad.
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, I put you in here. And then he slams it shut. She opens it. He slams it shut. And then he takes what looks to be like a giant silo tank and like lifts it and slams it on top of the refrigerator. And he might as well be like, all right,
Job well done.
yeah, let's go. Oh God, it's so funny.
Yeah. This physical work here is pretty great. One of Vilmer and Leatherface's, the other family members, who just goes by W.E. He's played by Joe Stevens. He was in My Boyfriend's Back. He's in Blank Check from 1994.
Whoa.
He was also in Varsity Blues in 99. He's in the 2010 version of True Grit. And then I think most recently he was in Little Woods, a 2018 film directed by Nia DaCosta, who did Candyman 2021.
I do not like this character. I do not like this performance. The character can be distilled down to one thing. Is redneck crazy.
Right.
Says famous men quotes.
Yes.
That's like the thing is he'll say some quote and then go, that there's, and then he'll say like
Robert Bloch.
Yeah, that there's John Paul Jones, that there's William Shakespeare.
Yeah, William Shakespeare, who said,
brevity is the soul of Darla's fake tit.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, W.E. holds Barry up by gunpoint and then like forces him to go into the house. And this weird exchange here where like Barry tricks W.E. by saying that he needs to use the bathroom. So then he bolts in and closes the door behind him to like lock W.E. out. But then whenever he turns around and starts looking around the house, he's like, no, but I really have to actually go to the bathroom. And then he finds the bathroom.
It is so, and this is what I mean by it is so boring.
Right.
But then also so weird. Because then the other thing that happens, because yeah, he does. He finds the bathroom, but eventually he's taken into the room where Heather was just put in the fridge.
Yeah. And then he's killed with the sledgehammer, so we have that payoff.
But it's so bad, like it doesn't look good at all.
No. And it's quick, and then it almost seems like more than like the leg spasming thing. It almost seems like Leatherface is just like shaking him.
Yeah.
And
then he's put in the fridge
and
she's taken out
and hung on the meat hook.
Right. So you've hit all the beats here, but it is the thing of like, well, why didn't you just put her on the hook in the first place?
Yeah.
If you're going to have the struggle to get out of the fridge, make it the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it is the thing of like, why does Vilmer have a robot leg?
We'll never know.
Why did you have to have the other truck?
Why is like you've got bodies that we see later on that are just kind of like they're like blue dead bodies, like
House of the or like Day of the Dead.
Yeah, like those zombies. But like, are they just dead people that you've taxidermied and are sitting in your house? Because then something happens that kind of reveals that maybe not.
Or maybe, and we at this point have all had a collective hallucination.
That's probably it.
Yeah. Anyway, eventually we have our clip where Vilmer picks up
Jenny.
And he's like, look in the back, you idiot. And she does. And she sees those two guys that he killed. One of them is her boyfriend. And they're like strung up in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And then more than half of the movie is like the final 20 minutes of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is all they now have the survivor in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they repeat the same motif where she is, finds the Sawyer home and Leatherface like chases her around for a long time.
Yeah, it is a long, long time. Like, and this one is different because like when she first jumps out after our clip, she jumps out of the truck. And I don't know if it was her doing the stunt or if they had a stunt double do it, but it's a fucking hard jump out into like the dirt ditch on the side of the road.
Well, eventually she makes it into like the Sawyer home and gets upstairs. and jumps out of the upstairs window. And Dylan and I both were like, ooh, because it looks like the stunt performer bursts out of the window and then gets like caught. And it's like, oh God, this bitch is going to Darth Maul herself.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, yeah, because in that point, she's already been chased by Vilmer in the truck into the woods. And then she finds into the house where she's chased by Leatherface up and out. And then it's like she does the thing where she jumps out the window like Sally does in the original, but that doesn't work because Leatherface then follows her out onto the roof of the house.
Yeah, but it's like the beats that but a little bit different.
Yeah.
No, it's stupid. It's bad.
And so like Leatherface is chasing her, and there's like a long stretch where they're all over the roof. She eventually drops down and she's like hiding in like a greenhouse. I love when Leatherface bursts through.
I do too.
I just wish they didn't cut away from it so quickly.
I wish they didn't cut away. Yeah, that's a fair point. But I also, why would you just stand there? This is, and listen, I understand that the point of a horror podcast, we can't sit here and pick those plot points apart.
Right. Because otherwise we don't have a movie.
Right. I get that. But I like the movies that at least spend the time to explain it. Like she gets there and she's scared because there's bodies in there or something. But there isn't. She's just staring at the ground.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even the thing of like her hyperventilating, which would at least be a physical indicator to us, the audience. The only thing we have to work with is like, well, maybe she's too afraid to move. And then she's like, right before he bursts through, she's like, oh shit, right, I'm being chased. And like takes off again. She's like, I gotta go get car insurance. Because then we run back into Darla.
Yeah, which is very much the scene from the original of she is chased by Leatherface.
Yeah.
And he disappears all of a sudden. And then she can go into this little shack and talk to Darla, who at first kind of, puts her at ease and checks. And it's like, yeah, no, there's nobody out here. I don't know what you're talking about. And then W.E. shows up and they they cattle prod her and they put her in a bag and stuff her into the trunk. We also get this weird, like, is this where we get the thing where Darla starts talking about the Illuminati, basically, that there's like a secret society?
Yeah. She's like, she does something that I think is really poignant now, which is she basically says like, oh yeah, the reason I'm with my boyfriend, even though he's kind of like a bad person, is because, and then just QAnons for like a long time, which has no payoff, and that's the end of that. And then you have two things that are worth talking about. The weird comedy beat of her going to like a Steak and Shake.
Yeah, that serves pizza.
And it's a drive-through with pizza, which is weird. Also, Dylan pointed this out, and I can't help but think he's right. Pizza's such a weird thing for a redneck family in the middle of like rural Texas to order.
Especially because it's like the first three movies, everything is so much barbecue.
Because they're eating people.
Right. And so this one, and there's a little joke there where like she orders it, and I think he hands her 3 pizzas, and it's like the first one's like cheese, meat lover, and vegetarian, I think is what he says.
Sure.
And so it's like, okay, haha. And then like she's flirting with the kid working there.
And he's like, I hear something back there. Is there something? And she's like, you want to come have a look in my trunk? You want me to open wide my anus for you to peer inside with a flashlight?
Oh, is that what she was getting at?
That's the line.
Oh.
And the kid's like, yeah. And she's like, why don't you get over here and inspect me? And he does. Yeah. And that's the end of the movie. Derek.
But yeah, it's like the cops come up and she's like almost caught with, a living person in her trunk.
Then you have the funniest scene in the whole movie. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, yes.
Heather, the girl who got put on the meat hook, has escaped. They do not show her escape.
Do not.
But she is now in the middle like a slug crawling across this dirt road with a giant hole in her back. And Darla gets out of her car and is like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm dying. And Darla, for some reason, keeps the ruse up.
Uh-huh.
She's alone in the middle of the woods with a woman who's just been stabbed, presumably by her own boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I'll help you. Let me get a blanket or something. But it's like acting annoyed.
Yeah. And then instead,
she fumbles around for like a solid second in the woods to find like a perfect whacking stick.
Well, yeah, you got to find a perfect wagon stick.
And then she gets one. And as she's walking up with it, she's like holding it and she takes like a practice swing into the dirt. And she walks up and the girl's like mumbles halfway, like, please don't hit me. And she's like, and she hits her right. Like half-assed, like a couple times. And she's like, please stop. And Darla's like, oh, okay, fine. Don't go anywhere. And then leaves.
It's the most bizarre. In a way, I guess it's supposed to mirror the scene in the original where they happen upon, like, Drayton has Sally in the bag in the truck and they happen upon the hitchhiker and he gets out and he like kicks him and like reprimands him and then they continue driving.
Maybe, I don't know. I think that this is a wholly unique. There is nothing like it in any movie I have ever seen.
No.
It is incredible. It is the awkwardness of her grabbing a stick and this half-conscious girl being like, please don't hit me. And Darla trying to hit her and then not being very good at it. So just giving up. It is bizarre.
Very strange.
It is my favorite scene in this movie.
Yeah. That one's very PJ coded.
They might as well have been like, whoosh, like done cartoon sounds when she got hit.
There's everything missing.
I thought for sure she'd then get run over, but she doesn't even do that. She brings Jenny back to the house, bound and gagged, lets her out and is like, hey, by the way, W.E., there's another one that got out and is like down by the road. You need to go get her. And he's got the door. And in a call response to what your brother did to the damn door, which is the funniest line in one.
Yeah.
They're like, W.E. goes to Vilmer and is like, look what your brother did to the door. And Matthew McConaughey might as well have turned to the camera and been like, I don't care at all about that door. I don't care. And you shouldn't either. And then he looks at us and he goes, all I care about is the passengerless door to my Lincoln. And then does like a wink.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the Lincoln lawyer.
More like a Lincoln log. This movie's a big piece of shit.
Darla goes on to talk about like how there's a secret society that controls everything.
Yeah, she like takes Renée Zellweger upstairs to like
clean her up,
have like a girl talk.
Yeah,
and she puts her in like this horribly ugly dress. And then Matthew McConaughey is like, hey, let me in. Like, you guys aren't supposed to be talking. And then kicks Darla out. And then in a very like kind of shot rhymes with shot call to the beginning, does like a lot of the same stuff that Renée Zellweger's stepfather was doing.
Shoving her up against like the wall and getting in her face and everything.
It happening in the beginning doesn't add anything to this. She's still being sexually assaulted here.
Yeah.
I think that's plenty powerful. What I will say is that Dylan and I could not stop making the joke watching this movie of he'd be like, oh yeah, you scared? Oh, I'm going to get you. And then he like licks her face. And it's like, Matthew, you were not on the call sheet today. You have no lines. You are not in this scene. And then Matthew McConaughey just went insane and terrorized everyone. Like he very much Jared Leto's Jokered everybody.
He sent everybody rats in their mail or whatever.
Yeah, I think.
I can't remember.
Was it rats or was it landscapes? Because the landscapes might have been balls.
Yeah. From that distance, they all look like landscapes. But
the joke was supposed to be for the audience at home. The joke was supposed to be that I thought it'd be funny if Jared Leto had taken pictures of his testicles and sent it to all of his co-stars on the Suicide Squad, but they all thought it was weird that he sent them pictures of landscapes because of the show Arrested Development, where Liza Minnelli plays Lucille too. See?
Wow.
I'm a professional for a reason. I'm Beans goddamn Morocco.
You brought it right back around.
Now, if you were nasty, what would you call me?
I'd call you Bean Rocco.
You are a nasty one.
This is like just a lot of the rest of this movie, like you said, is just like this is them in the kitchen and him tormenting her a whole bunch. Jenny almost gets away here. She picks up the shotgun. He just
is incredible.
It just ratchets up and up and up of insanity with him.
Yeah, and two things I should point out here. He has a robot leg.
Oh, right. The robot leg.
We've mentioned it a handful of times, but let me give it to you in an accurate way. He wears a utility belt. The back of the utility belt has a weird, like, air conditioning hose.
Yeah.
That leads from a battery pack into the hydraulic leg. And then it makes a noise every step he takes. And it's just so bizarre.
And somehow
it's remote controlled.
It's remote controlled by just regular old like TV remotes.
Like what are they? Universal like Vizio TV remotes.
Yeah. Whenever he first gets home, he like asks Darla about like, have you charged my batteries today or something?
And then like beats the shit out of her when she says no.
Yeah. And there's a point after the shotgun bit where like basically they're playing this whole thing with Jenny holding the shotgun of like, go ahead, pull the trigger. And he pulls like 2 shells and holds them. And he's like, maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe it is loaded.
And then Darla says something to the extent of like, if he put it somewhere where you could get it, it is a test. And then WE says something like, you know, I know the best words. My words are the best. Donald J. Trump. Yeah.
He says that.
Because he quotes fucking people.
Yeah. Very smart men.
Yeah. And he says something like, I'm going to go ahead. As much as I'd like to answer that, I'm going to go ahead and plead the 5th. That one's from Jeffrey Epstein. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? You know, that's what Donald Trump's middle name, the J, that's what it says. His name is Donald Jeffrey Epstein Trump.
Is that why his name's on the list so many times?
No. That's a coinkydink.
But yeah, eventually, she pulls the trigger. It doesn't kill him.
No, but then he grabs it and aims it up and pulls the trigger, and it is the 50-50 because it goes off.
Yeah.
I love him in this scene. He is screaming and covered in sweat and laughing his ass off.
Oh, he does this excellent impression of the Tusken Raider.
Yeah, he does. And at one point, he almost like sucks the gun off a little bit. Like like you said, he's ramped the fuck up. He is crazy.
Yep. And then he like Darla says something, and so he like throws her down on the ground, and he's like stepping on her throat. Yeah. And then his robot leg, freaks out, which is, you know, what he got the role doing. But this allows Jenny to escape. And she first tries to like drive off in Darla's car. But then eventually she's stopped by Vilmer and is knocked unconscious. And then
No, because this is something that makes me really mad.
Okay.
Vilmer jumps on top of the car in spite of having a horrible limp and a robot leg.
Right.
He fucking T-1000 catches up to the car and jumps on top of it. And then falls off. And as she's driving away, the fucking hood pops open. And that's why she crashes.
Yeah.
Is like, why wouldn't you just have him stop her?
I don't know. There's a lot of that in this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, we know that we need to have a moment of like tension and, oh my God, is she going to get away? But then ultimately we have to get her back in the house. But then they didn't know how to get her back in the house.
You've also not spent enough time with her in the house for her to leave to come back. Because it is like a ping pong.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, so all that shit that just happened outside doesn't matter at all. Because we're right back here. The other thing I like about this scene is Heather, the fucking friend from high school's character, is immediately shown that for the rest of this movie, every time Vilmer's like losing his shit, he does something horrible to her to work it out of the system. Like, he almost bites her nose off here. It's crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking bizarre.
And we haven't even gotten to the weird part yet.
No, this is the weird part.
Yeah, we go to dinner.
Yeah.
As these movies
it's the dinner scene.
are like to have.
Now, one thing I do like here is that Leatherface, for the first time, it's like does away with the female face on the male clothed body or some variation of that. Leatherface is wearing a woman's face, a woman's chest skin, including like titties.
Yeah.
A big, like a long black wig and a long black dress, and is completely feminine presenting. And like does makeup and everything. And then the physical performance completely changes.
Right.
It's like flirtatious and like
giggly and
yeah, kind of Meryl Streepish in this weird way.
in a weird way.
But yeah, I like that. I like what they do with that. I like the idea that, like the Firefly family, the table is like covered in trash and like the whole house is disgusting. And that, yeah, they do it. They have like these 4 like Day of the Dead gray zombie bodies that are seated fully clothed at this dinner table.
And earlier, whenever Jenny first makes it into the house before she runs up and jumps out onto the roof, she finds in like one of the bedrooms, there's like a cop who is also just like standing there, and he has that like blue-gray makeup, and she takes his gun.
But it's not loaded.
Yeah. But like that's the first indication of like what is going on in this particular Sawyer house.
Yeah.
That's different than the rest.
But yeah, nothing really of any importance happens at this dinner table except for Matthew McConaughey loses his mind again and he spits food into Renée Zellweger's face and chest.
Yes. He also gets to say, all right, all right, all right, which he was famous for.
Does he?
In Dazed and Confused.
I guess I missed that.
Yeah, it's the same line.
Yeah.
It's much like Jeff Goldblum getting to say, must go faster in both Jurassic Park and Independence Day. Like
Jeff Goldblum.
Like a year apart or something.
And then he says, buzz, buzz in the fly.
His most famous line.
Yeah, he goes, buzz, buzz, bitch. He goes, I'm Buzz Flight Ear. Whatever.
It's something.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I think it's about time. The big draw through of this movie is that Darla is convinced that Vilmer works for the Illuminati.
Right.
Not the government, but a group of people so powerful that they control the world from the shadows, and that every decision ever made by anyone is made by these people, this group, the secret group, and they're real.
And I think earlier she makes some reference to Kennedy getting shot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. To which I thought what she was saying is that the redneck Sawyer family killed Kennedy. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, he was killed by a magic chainsaw.
In Dallas. That is so funny. He was killed by a magic chainsaw. Fired from the grassy knoll in Dallas. Yeah. And then they scooped him up from the back of that car, cooked him up.
Yeah.
President a flagrante. Or something, I don't know. Like a meal. Anyway, it is...
Then comes a knock at the door.
Okay, yeah. Oh my God. This is real. This happens in the movie. Okay, you and I, Derek, have lost all credibility because so often I will say something like earlier, and then that kid at the drive-thru checks Darla's asshole with a flashlight.
And
you're
I'm
like,
yeah, that tracks.
But this really does happen. This is the ending of the movie. A man is dropped off at the front door of this home where Vilmer greets him. And he has this really stupid haircut, and he is dressed like a member of the mafia from like The Godfather. He even like takes off his gloves and his coat and like hands it to his valet, who takes it to the limousine he pulled up in. And he's like, let us see what you've done. And then he goes into the kitchen and he is like, hush now, child, because Renée Zellweger's character is like freaking the fuck out. And he's like, all right, here I go. And he unbuttons his shirt, which I don't understand why. But he unbuttons his shirt and his torso is covered. It's not even his torso, it's his fucking stomach.
Yeah.
Is covered in like hieroglyphs and 3 giant belly rings.
Yes.
That are like pierced into his stomach skin. Very similar to Hellraiser.
Right.
And then he bends down and licks all over her face. Like It's going out of style. He licks all over her face like a child would while wearing one of those propeller hats, a giant swirly lollipop at a theme park.
Yeah.
He licks all over her. And then he gets up and he walks back over to Vilmer and he yells at him for a long time about being bad. And that what he's like, we want them to experience horror. And then he might as well look at the camera and go, horror. Like, the only thing we're here to talk about is, which is a catchphrase from local celebrity Beans Morocco from the Third Channel podcast.
Wait, so he was referencing this show back then?
No.
Oh.
I was only a year old.
Oh, okay.
But I could have made that movie and it could have been as good. But, and then he's like, all right, so bye. And he leaves.
Much.
And then Vilmer, in a fit of rage, uses his robot leg to crush. He also sets Heather on fire at one point because Renée Zellweger's character is like nobody's putting baby in a corner. Fuck you. I'm not afraid of any of you.
Yeah, she does. She gets up at one point and she like, or this may happen in just a moment, where it's like she gets up and Leatherface makes some kind of move and she's like, no, stop it, sit down. And that is the moment of like the female empowerment of it all. Like she has now taken charge of this. She is like, I don't care about the insanity of everything that has just gone on. I am done.
And during all of this, during all of the insanity and all of the screaming and everything that happens, the dead corpse of the very old man at the end of the table, who looks exactly like Grandpa Munster, like a mushy little old man face with this crazy haircut that looks like Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, eyes closed, dead as a doornail, gray skin, pouting. And then when things get really dramatic, he's like, and he gets up and walks out of the room.
He doesn't say anything.
He says nothing.
No one says or references him in any way.
They do not address the fact that he is there. W.E. talks to him, but we just think it's him being crazy talking to a dead body.
Yeah, because it's Grandpa.
But then he doesn't say anything when he gets up and leaves. Oh, and he also takes a knife.
Yes. Now, what is that like? What does that mean for the other like 4 bodies that are in this room sitting at the table?
I don't know. It could mean so many things. Is Grandpa alive? Is this a hallucination? Is it like that weird thing where like Grandpa should be dead but is somehow still alive? Or like Grandma Chainsaw in Chainsaw Heaven? Like it is so. This franchise has made me so mad.
Erect?
No,
I mean mad. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're just talking about fucking Caroline Williams again.
Do you want to?
You pervert. I could not stop laughing when he got up and just walked out of the scene. It's like a Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. But
it's a Looney Tune where like the background has been painted and then something is about to move because it's painted differently.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden is like, wait a second, why is he painted? And then he gets up and moves.
He does. And it's like he's sitting there and he's all mushy faced and old. And then his eyes open and he looks around and he grabs a knife and he leaves. Exit stage left. He leaves the house. She then leaves the house and is chased again.
Yes.
By Vilmer in the truck with Leatherface. We then cut to who I assume are Kim Henkel's parents. These old people in a like an RV,
right?
Which crashes into the tow truck.
Yeah, so there.
Oh, it's daytime now too, by the way.
Yeah, we've made it to the next day. Vilmer has freaked out. He's crushed Heather's skull with his mechanical leg, his robot leg.
That's what I was going to say is he sets her on fire and then he smashes her head with his robot leg because he's just like, I do not like her.
Right.
So every time something inconveniences me, I'm taking it out on her.
I guess W.E. gets knocked out at some point in this as well because like he's basically not in the rest of this.
And Darla as well.
Yeah. And so when Jenny breaks free and she uses a remote control to manipulate Vilmer's leg and get that to freak out. So that allows her to get out.
A horror movie with a better budget, it would have snapped his knee backwards.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. No, this is just, it inconveniences him for a few moments so that she can run out to the main dirt road.
Which is why we spent so much time developing the character to have this weird leg, is so that she could use, again, a universal remote purchased from a Radio Shack, I assume, to fuck his leg into smithereens. But it's fine because of the batteries.
And then here's where, like, again, we're kind of mirroring the original, but then it's not a one-to-one translation, is that we have the RV show up. Jenny I love the line from this woman as they see Jenny running and they're trying to save her, and Leatherface is now chasing her with his chainsaw. And the woman says there's a monster chasing her with a chainsaw.
Great.
And it's just the like genuine, just old Southern couple.
Because she's not an actress.
No.
They put a hidden camera in the car. Oh my God. And he said they had to cut it for time, but he said, oh my aching bananas.
Yeah. It's a real shame though.
They get into a wreck with Vilmer in the tow truck.
Jenny gets in with them, and then fucking Leatherface is like hanging on the back of the tow truck. They get in a wreck. The RV flips on its side, and then Jenny climbs out of it. Now, here's what I mean is like the RV is already kind of the surrogate to the semi.
Yes.
But then when the RV flips and Jenny gets out and starts running again, and Leatherface is now chasing her on foot, a crop duster plane.
Yeah, so this is what I mean when I say that we have lost the railing. It is gone because it is a plane driven by someone we never see, whose motivations are completely unclear,
right?
And whose link to this film is unexplained.
We had one cutaway shot at the beginning of this daytime scene where he flies over doing his job of crop dusting a crop of some kind.
And he then flies the airplane down to person level
with such precision
that he is able to use the propellers to slit Vilmer's throat with the propellers. I assume.
I think he hits him with a tire.
Oh, see, I thought the propeller caught him. It doesn't matter. Because one way he's dead.
Yeah, he is dead. The greatest part of this film is now gone.
And then Leatherface freaks out. And Jenny's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Fortunately, they sent a car because a stretch limousine shows up. So she dives into the stretch limo. And who is it? Belly ring, creep, sex, Illuminati guy.
Mr. Rothman is his name.
Who gives us no information at all. Just basically speaks French kind of and very bored talks about how it was supposed to, quote, it was supposed to be a spiritual experience.
And that Vilmer needed to be stopped ultimately.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't either.
Even in the context of the movie. I don't like, what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but this is where we get that you and I are on the same page of the cabin in the woods reveal
of somebody has made them do this to people.
Right.
For their kicks for a long time.
And I mean, it doesn't work, but it's
because it's half baked.
Yeah.
If the first half of this movie, if the first act of this movie was everything we got, but faster. And then the second act of the movie was all the house stuff.
Yeah.
And then the third act of the movie was the big reveal that like this family has worked for these people for years and tortures people for their pleasure. It's not a cannibalistic society. It's like they are psychos on a leash. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But you save it for the last 3 minutes. And the airplane vigilante.
Yeah.
And is the old man alive?
With the airplane. Is that a guy? He's doing his job.
Right. It's the hot dog guy.
And then, and then he is flying and he sees this wreck happen with an RV.
And then he sees a woman being chased by a man.
Dressed as a woman.
And another guy.
And another guy. And he's like, I'm going to save this woman.
But my favorite part of that is even if that's what it is, because it has to be what it is.
Right.
Even if that's what it is, he goes, I have to save this woman, but I'm not going to get the guy with the chainsaw. I'm going to get the guy who's handicapped.
I'm going to get Matthew McConaughey.
And so he murders Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is like, from, what is it? Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
It probably doesn't translate well on mic.
No.
That's not for them. It's for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the end of the movie.
Pretty much. We get a little epilogue here. And the only reason I bring up the epilogue.
Yeah. But, I hope you have something on this because I'm so confused by it.
Okay. So she gets into the limousine.
Oh my God. It's Sally.
And he's like, do you want to go to the cops or do you want to go to the hospital or something like that? So he takes her to the hospital and she is talking to a police officer. That police officer is played by John Dugan, who was Grandpa in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
Under all that makeup.
That's funny.
Then there is a blonde woman. Basically, the cop is asking her questions about what happened. And a blonde woman is being pushed on a gurney and locks eyes with Jenny as she passes.
And like Renée Zellweger reacts really, really harshly to this.
Yes. And I believe it's supposed, yes, it's Marilyn Burns who played Sally in the original.
Okay.
And the hospital orderly who is pushing her is Paul Partain who played Franklin. So it's these 3 blink and you miss it cameos.
You don't see his face.
You don't even see his full face. It's like you see the bottom half of his face, but that's who it is.
But then, oh God, because if it is supposed to be Sally, then it is taking place at the same time.
No, because this is like 23 years later. They say that at the beginning.
So this is just supposed to be a coincidence.
I guess.
Why would you do this cameo?
I don't know.
Oh my God! If you're going to cameo them at all, put them in the high school, or I don't know, make them customers of Darla's.
Yeah, the cameo is just like we look at her Rolodex.
Yeah, and there's pictures of them.
Yeah,
she's like, yeah, this guy, one of my clients is, he's in a wheelchair. He needs insurance for his business. He operates the old slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and then after those cameos, we cut back to because we've done all the other hits. Leatherface just getting it out on this dirt road, just whipping that chainsaw.
I know it's member berries. I get it. It's probably the least important part of the movie, but it worked for me.
Yeah,
the visual, the way it's shot, the look of that field is gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
and like the wreck behind him and him in the dress is so interesting looking. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the very end visuals. That's it. That's the only thing I'm a really big fan of. When I say to you that the audience, when I say to you listening right now that the last 10 minutes of this movie are not explained by the movie itself and have left me reeling, I'm not exaggerating. You go from a cut and dry genre film to a potentially sci-fi, potentially Hellraiser horror-ish sort of psychological thriller, and then Cameo Fest, apparently. Oh God, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
No. Well, that leads me to, do you recommend?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
I don't know if it's better or worse than 3. Like I'm there. The thing that we complain about 3 with is that it's boring. And that so much of the little references from the original that they're like putting in it are just, they don't feel natural. They're just
carbon copies.
Right. And they just happen.
Carbon copies in a copy machine that's running out of toner.
Yes. Whereas this feels closer to like an active, we're going to remake the original, kind of like what 2 does, where it's like, we're going to remake the original, but we're going to go full camp and over the top comedy. This is doing that. It's trying to do camp. It's trying to do comedy. And everybody is turned up to an 11. But like in weirder ways, different ways, but it's still pretty boring through most of it.
Here's what I'll say. This is I think on paper, this is a worse movie than 3.
Yeah.
It feels like it was made in a way that comes off poorly. I think that 3 is a comprehensively better made movie. It's better acted generally, other than McConaughey and Zellweger. I think the general cast of 3 is better than this.
Yeah.
I think Because those are the only two. Everyone else in this movie is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Even the rich English guy at the end is fucking terrible, is boring and flat and does nothing for the movie. But I have said on the record a million times that the worst thing a movie that is supposed to be a horror movie can be is boring. Because, yeah, I liked watching this one more than 3.
Yeah.
No matter how much more...
Especially the back half.
Yeah, no matter how much more competent 3 is as a movie that was shot and made is than this movie, I had more fun watching this movie going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Even the little stupid shit, like, why is her business in the middle of the woods? Is hilarious to me in hindsight.
All these
Why
bizarre
did she hit her
choices.
with a stick? Just to leave.
Yeah.
She has like no dog in this fight, but she still was like, maybe I'll kill her with a stick. I don't recommend this movie either, for the record.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I think I recommend it only to people that have like run out of things on Earth.
Yeah. But you know whose opinion I'd really like to hear about this movie?
Who?
Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I believe he said in our part 2 discussion that he's only seen the original and 2. He hasn't touched any of the other sequels. So this one is one of those where like, I feel like Charlie would appreciate the campiness of it all.
Yeah. Also, I think the things they do with Leatherface.
Yeah, I'd love to hear his take on all that. Because I do think that there's something interesting there. And I know like part of that is truly like Leatherface dressing as a woman and wearing the body parts of a woman is taken directly from Ed Gein. He like would make, he had a skin suit that he would wear and like, in a Norman Bates sort of way, like talk to his mother in the mirror while wearing, female body parts. So it's like they're going right back to the source material of the original and doing it again. I don't know. I think it's like swinging for the fences in certain ways, and then it's doing paint by numbers the rest of it.
Yeah, 4 is always an interesting number for these franchises. Because you look at Hellraiser, and the 4th, you and I agree, the 4th is the best entry.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
The, final chapter, Friday the 13th, 4 is great.
Yep.
Return of Michael Myers, that's where you see the franchise start to go downhill.
And that's where, like, this feels like that sort of trajectory of... Like that was a 10-year gap from the original. And then you have 2, 3, and then they reset with 4 of like, okay, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's go back to, and they're trying to kind of recreate the magic of, and like different parts of that original Halloween film.
Right.
This is doing a similar thing there where it's like, okay, we're 20 years later. How do we make the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the 90s?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
No, much like America, I think that this radical movement failed to make the Texas Chainsaw Massacre great again. Imagine that on a hat. Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps.
You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at @DRosenberg.
You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette
and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty.
The logo designed by Bell DeVelco.
Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington.
Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial. Egg salad and eggs.